Welcome to Caseback Watches, my name is Tim, and little warning at the beginning, if a watch for you has to be 100% functional, then maybe this piece is not for you, but to all the other guys, watch the video, you will love it because it's great. Nivada Grenchen Antarctic Spider. That watch was a topic in my video series Watch of the Week, and back then, a few months ago, I said something like, legibility is very, that direction, and the name is damn cool and the watch is very unique and interesting. And guys, I have to confirm this. All points I have to confirm. I will show you the watch in the light box in a minute and then you will see what I mean. So this is the first part of this video. The second part is the leather scratch tutorial. I've asked you if you would find that helpful, and many people said, yeah, we would love to see that tutorial. And I present you there 3 or 4 tips how to remove scratches from fine leather items. Important is to know that they are only for, let's say, high quality leather, okay? And so it's not for fake leather and it's not for leather plated with some varnish and plastic and all those ghastly things. And so those are our 2 topics in this video. Nivada Grenchen Antarctic Spider and the leather scratch tutorial. We have timestamps so you can choose what you want to see. And now let's begin. First, some information about the historic background of the brand. Nivada Grenchen is not a micro brand. The company was established 1879 in the Swiss city Grenchen and was especially in the 60s and 70s famous for their Chronomaster, which was a very advanced tool watch. But beside that model, they produced other expedition watches, and one of those watches was the Antarctic Spider. So what we have here is a historic watch from the 60s revived. Okay, here we are with the watch. I mean, look at this. This is a nice sight, really nice with those vintage colors here. Here we have our icy Antarctic Spider, Nivada Grenchen. Let's unbox it. I mean, I have worn the watch, so this is not a surprise. This is just to show you the packaging. Here we have a white leather box. Let's open it. And there it is in full glory. It came on a very cheap rubber strap. I didn't like that, so I put it on another strap. Let's zoom in. Here we are with the Spider. And first, let's go over the dimensions. We have here a case diameter of 38 millimeters. Length overall is 45 and the thickness is 11. Luck with is convenient 20. And we have a sapphire crystal, a screw down crown, and the watch is waterproof up to 100 meters. And inside we find the Soprod P024, and this is basically a clone of an ETA 2824. So this is really good Swiss industrial standard with 28,800 beats per hour and 25 joules. Works fine, nice performance here. I've worn the watch a couple of days and without any problems. And so let's begin with the dial. What we have here is of course the Spider. You have a so-called sector dial with those lines here, but the lines end a bit strange because we have these indices not in the usual direction, but they are all vertical. And so this is a very weird look at first glance. But this, of course, was the first aspect I found so fascinating. I've never seen such a watch before, and I knew I have to check it out. The case is very interesting in form, very advanced. You can see here high polished bezel, high polished lugs, and brushed sides. The case back here mentions that it's a prototype, and so we have to be fair. Maybe there are small issues which are not representative for the final product. At least I found one, and I will tell you which one, of course. But back to the dial. As mentioned, legibility is very demanding. I've checked this watch in broad daylight. It was absolutely fine. But if you are at night, for example, or it's a bit dark, then you really have some problems with the watch dial, with all those reflections. But here you see very clearly that all those reflections are the show, basically. This is the reason why I like this watch, because there's so much going on. You have reflections all over the piece, and especially with this shimmer from the sapphire here. It's strange, but on this vintage-inspired watch, I think it's a good decision that they've opted for a sapphire, because it adds this blue shine here. And note that the Cyclops is very strong, very effective, and it adds another reflection here on the dial. And this on a silver dial with a strong sunburst effect. It's absolutely crazy. The decision is absolutely crazy. Also the dolphin hands here in the same color, absolutely crazy. But it gives the watch a certain look and it makes the watch coherent in a way. And I also love the font here, Nivada Antarctic. This looks really serious. It looks really realistic and authentic. And so I'm very happy with that. And I'm happy that you cannot read the time at first glance, because you have then, you have to move the watch a bit. You have to catch some light with it to check out the time. This is very strange and many people will not like that. But I personally can say I just love it. Okay, let's operate the watch. Screw down crown. Let's unscrew it. Feels pretty normal, to be honest. Let's focus a bit on the watch, dear camera. Feels pretty normal. Then you have position 1 and 2. And position 2 is very hard to gain, very hard to reach. I don't know why, but I think this is not representative there. This is a bit too stiff. And then you can move the hands. This feels good with some resistance. I think this movement could use a drop of oil. And with position 1 then, with position 1, you can use the quick set for the date. And here it is. And here you see the big Cyclops clock. Very nice, works fine. Let's see if the date changes correctly. And there it is. Very nice. Very nice. And there we are, 38 millimeters on a 17 centimeter wrist. And so you see it's absolutely a statement, but I love it. I love it, especially on that strap here, available at casebackwatches.com. And you know what? Forget this expedition thing that this is, was used on an expedition to the Antarctic. And this is a sheer dress watch. This is a very eccentric and fun dress watch, I think, and I love it for that. Okay, and here's the next part of the video, scratch tutorial. I've brought 3 samples of leather. We will scratch them and then we will try to, let's say, at least enhance those scratches. We have to bring them a bit down so that they are not so disturbing. And the best way to handle scratches is, of course, just to leave them there, to see them as part of the, let's say, patina. But that's not always very pleasant to see. If you have a fine surface, I mean, those are leftovers here. But if you have a fine surface of leather and then you have a really fat scratch you've made accidentally, then this is not nice. This is absolutely not nice. But there is a way, as said, to remove them or enhance the entire surface a bit. So what we have to understand first, we have several layers here. We have a front layer or a surface here with a certain color, and the inside of the leather has another color. And sometimes this is very similar. Then you have here a dark brown and the leather is fairly brown as well, but you can already see here the difference in color. So if you scratch away the surface here, you will see the brighter color underneath, right? Here again, you see a difference, but it's not very dramatically, but here it is. See this? This is a very bright red, and here we have the super dark red. So when I scratch this, I will see this color underneath here. And so let's begin with the easiest example here. This is vegetable tanned cow leather, very fine and sturdy thing here, very thick. And now let's use a pretty brutal tool and all. I mean, this is really sharp. You will never see this in, let's say, a real knife next to your fine shoes, because it goes to the thing like this. See this? This is 4 or 5 millimeter leather, and so no chance. And so this is really the enemy of the leather. And when you see now this scratch here, see this? There you think, no, oh no. What can we do now? And the answer is you can use a bit of wax. This is beeswax. Maybe you have a candle in your household and you can apply a bit of that beeswax here. See that? Very simple. And what we want to do now is we need a cloth. This is linen cloth, but you can also use cotton. But it is important that this is a bit rough here. And what you want to do now is to rub the wax into the scratch, and you want to create a bit of heat because this will darken the surface and the wax will seal it off. And there it is. Now you will see a difference because I've rubbed some wax in it, but you can treat the entire surface with a bit of wax, or you just let it like that. And a few days after that, you will see a bit of a scratch. See this? Here a bit of a scratch, but it's way better, as you can see. It's way better than our scratch before. Let's do it again with another product. And now let's make it really brutal. See this? This really is a scratch. This really is a scratch. And now I'm using some sort of lotion. This is for fine dress shoes. It's just a bit of wax, solvent. Here's, I think it's water or something else. It's not toxic. Let's apply it. And again, our cloth. And you really have to apply some force. Here you want to create heat. And there you see, this was too much heat. I've burned it a little bit. So it's better than the scratch before, but now you have, yeah, it looks like a scar. Actually, it looks okay. It looks pretty interesting. Nice. And after a few days or a week, this will even enhance more, and then you will see nothing. And that's how you can treat this type of leather here. Let's check another example. Here you see horse leather. This is the leather I use for my travel wallet Liberty, and it's a very fine leather because it's, here you see the shine, because there is some grease, natural grease in it. It's not that you can feel it, but you see this shine. But now let's ruin it. See this? I really took some of the material away. Same thing, same method. Use a bit of beeswax. And now let's rub it in. Don't be lazy. We really want to create some heat here. And there it is. It's still there. I mean, I cannot add material here, but you see it's much better. And when I continue now, let's say a few minutes with that cloth, it will enhance even more. But this is, yeah, it's way better than before. See that? Okay, last example, and now it's getting tough because the difference here in color is so big. And when I make a scratch here, this looks really bad now. And now let's try it with this stuff. Let's rub it in. And you see, not 100% fail, but this, yeah, you still see this bright color. And in this case, we have to use the next method. Let's make another scratch. There it is. And now we need some pigments. Now we need some help. I found this Kiwi shoe polish here, burgundy, so it should do the job. And I do it with my finger. Don't do this at home, please, but it's quicker now. And again, let's rub it in. And you see it's slightly better, but it's not perfect. So another treatment with that stuff here. I will stop using my finger now. I think it's not good to do this on camera. Okay, let's give it the last shine. And you see even this scratch is way better. It's not perfect because I really took away some material with this thing. This is not the usual accident you have with your shoes, where you can see how it works. You could wear this again and you could carry on with polishing with a cloth and you could enhance this even more. But let's do now something really catastrophic for your dress boots, let's say. Let's say you are on the street and then your boot hits something very nasty and very sharp, like this. And then you have this situation here. And then you think, oh my God, what can I do here? And most people have the tendency to rip this off now, this piece, and to fill the gap with something. This is not good. Repeat, this is not good. Leave it in place. You need this layer, and if something happens like that, you use a bit of glue, waterproof, this is German, wasserfest means waterproof, and you apply it. Only a tiny bit. Okay, and what I want to do is to glue this down, this thing. You let it dry completely. And when it's completely dry, you can use something like that. A lotion for shoes, you can polish it again, but it's very important to leave that thing in place. And then the shoe is not good as new, but you can wear it again. Okay, this was the scratch tutorial with good results, as you can see, but also with some limits. This was a pretty heavy damage here, and we cannot remove this entirely, but here you can, yeah, there it is, you can spot it. Here you cannot even see it anymore. And so very easy, and I've only used, let's say, products you have in your household or you can purchase very easily. By the way, people often ask if you can use anymore this Kiwi shoe polish or another cheap polish. Of course you can, because what we have to see in those products, the ingredients here are wax and a solvent and maybe some pigment, that's it. And so everything here works fine. Okay, welcome back, and now let's discuss briefly price and availability of the watch. Price is 685 euros, those are roughly 750 US dollars, and it's available in January 2022. The pre-order period has stopped. Very sorry, but you were warned. I have had this as said in my watch series, now video series Watch of the Week. That's correct. And now stop rambling here. I will cut this out, but at the other hand, then have to do it again. And so let's carry on. Let's carry on. Never mind. Because now we're at the end of this video. As always, if you like to have your sneak previews and your updates, then join me on Instagram. It's caseback_Tim. And now let me thank you very much for your attention, and until next time.